Hello and welcome to Rathod's IS. Today in this session, we are going to see current affairs of 29th November 2023. So we are going to see PDF of Hindu Delhi edition and we are going to pick out the articles which are important from our UPSC point of view. And later on, we are going to see the perspectives like in how many ways you can think about that topic and how many ways you can connect a single topic with the different subjects. So that interlinking of subjects is very important from your UPSC point of view. Because nowadays, if you see your prelims questions and mains questions, so that are the questions based on interlinking of topics. They are not asking on a single subject. So for that, this approach is very important. So now let us see the important articles without wasting any time. So first topic is Madras High Court stays ED summons to 5 collectors in Tamil Nadu. So here this article says that Madras High Court stayed the summons issued by ED, that is Director of Enforcement, to collectors of Ariyalur, Karur, Tanjavur, Tiruchi and Vellore for producing details regarding all sand quarry sites in their districts. So actually here you have to focus on one keyword, that is Directorate of Enforcement. So what is the role and functions of this body? So what is the mandate of this body? Because you can get a prelims question based on this topic. And this topic is important from your polity point of view, from your GS paper 2. And next topic is Tamil Nadu Minister withdraws petition for medical bail. Okay, so Tamil Nadu Minister withdraws petition for medical bail. So here you have to know about what is this bail. And in this bail we are having different types like regular bail and anticipatory bail. And this topic is talking about medical bail. So you have to know what is this medical bail. And this topic is again important from polity, which comes under your GS paper 2. And this topic is important from your prelims point of view, but not from mains. And one good news here is finally the rescue operations went success and 41 people who trapped under this collapsed tunnel, they came out. Okay, so here you have to know about what is the importance of rat hole mining. Why? Because of this rat hole mining, so for example, this is tunnel, suddenly collapse happened here. So in this collapse area, so they went for rat hole mining and they inserted one more tube into that. So from that tube here, these people, they came out. Okay, so this is success because of this rat hole mining. So what is this concept of rat hole mining? So it is mainly seen in region of Meghalaya. So Meghalaya is famous for rat hole mining and even government had banned this rat hole mining. So this rat hole mining is used in Meghalaya especially for coal mining. So for coal mining, so people will be going for this rat hole mining. It is nothing but if there is any hill or mountain, so there will be a small hole which is made. Okay, so even people, they can't enter into this hole, so they will go on by the crawling and they will be bringing this coal reserves outside. So this rat hole mining played a very important role to save 41 lives in this Uttarkasi incident. So here you have to connect this topic with what is this rat hole mining from geography point of view. So why government banned this rat hole mining, and even you have to know about what is the geography of this Himalayas and geological structure of Himalayas, and even you can talk about this Chardham project. So all these topics are interconnected with this single article. I hope it is clear, right? And in this city page, you can see there is an article regarding ban on BS3 petrol, BS4 diesel vehicles lifted as air quality improves in National Capital Region. So actually we have Bharat stage standards. So now we are following this Bharat stage 6. So it is based on the emissions which are released into atmosphere, right? So your government said that we have to use this BS stage 6 rather than BS3 and BS4. But even though if the people are using this BS3 and BS4, they are using their vehicles, and especially in this national capital region, they are facing this air pollution and bad air quality in this region because of this winter season. And now here air quality which had been improved somewhat. So because of this, there is lift of ban of use of this BS3 and BS4 diesel vehicles, diesel and petrol vehicles is seen. So here you have to focus on what is this BS standards and how many stages are there and why we need to follow this BS standards. So all these things are very important. Yes, in the states page, page number 4, you can see an article that is Kerala governor signs a bill, reserves 7 bills for president assent. So this article which is talking about powers of governor. So this article is talking about powers of governor, right? So here you have to know about in states like Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Telangana and Punjab. So they are facing issues like, so whenever the bills are passed in the house, that is state legislative assembly, so whenever they are placed before governor, so this is our governor, okay, governor for assent, so he is withholding the bills. So in this way you can make a flow chart. So if you are talking about this powers of governor in states of Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Telangana and Punjab, so whenever the bills are passed by the state legislative assembly, whenever they are placed before governor for assent, so he is withholding the bills. And what is the thing which happened? What is the story further? So here Supreme Court involved, and Supreme Court said that it is not good for democracy. The Supreme Court showed discontent regarding the reserving of bills by governor. Okay, discontent. It showed discontent. And what did Tamil Nadu state did? So Tamil Nadu state government moved a step further. So it again repassed, and it again repassed the same bills in house, and again those bills are placed before governor for assent. But the drawback here is, so we have a big book called as Constitution of India. So in this Constitution of India, which does not talk about powers of governor if bill has been passed again. Okay, so bill which are withholded by governor, so if it is repassed, then what is the power of governor? It is not talked in any article like article 200 or article 201 of Indian Constitution. So again this story went to Supreme Court, and Supreme Court said that, so whenever the bill which is repassed, okay, if there is withholding of bill by governor, and now that bill will act as a money bill. So what happens in money bill? There is no choice for governor, he have to give the assent, right? So here there is no power of governor here if the bill is repassed. So he have to give assent. So this is a thing which mainly said by the Honorable Supreme Court. So here this article which is talking about presidential assent. So whenever bills are reserved for the presidential assent. So here you have to see some constitutional provisions, and as well as you have to see powers of governor. And this article obviously important from your polity, which comes under your GS paper too. And this topic, from this topic you can get prelims and mains based question for sure this year. So 100% there will be question from this topic. You should be careful, okay? And if you move on, you can directly see this editorial page. Yes, in this page there are most of the articles which are related to this COP28 that we are going to have from tomorrow, that is from November 30 to December 12th. We have this COP28 that is going to be held in Dubai. So here you have to see like what are the important discussions, what are the important areas of focus. So here we have to focus on even climate finance. We have to focus on climate finance and also INDCs and countries' targets and promises. And we have to talk about global warming. And we have to focus on even focus on how to decrease this global warming under this Paris climate deal. And we have to even focus on what are the measures that are going to be taken by the countries, and also pollute or pay concept, and also L&D fund, that is loss and damage fund. So all these things they have to be discussed. Okay, so these are some highlights, and once this meeting is done, then we will be getting lots and lots of things regarding what are the highlights and what are the different countries, targets, plans, etc. There we are going to focus. And these two articles, they are regarding this COP28 only. Okay, now let us move on and let us see other articles. So here you can see this article regarding challenge of maritime security in global south. So please let me know what is this concept of this global south phenomena. Okay, whether it is based on geography or not, and which are the countries part of this global south. So please let me know. So here you have to see like what is the interest of India in this maritime sector, and even you can see like what are the challenges that we are facing in this ensuring security in this maritime. Okay, so we have two spheres. So how many spheres we have? We have two spheres. The first one is continental sphere and second one is maritime sphere. Maritime sphere and continental sphere. So if we are talking about continental, that means on land. On land, what are the challenges we have? So that comes under continental challenges. So if we are talking about seas or water, so whatever the challenges that we have, so that is called as maritime. So we are talking about this maritime. So why India is focusing on maritime? If you see geographical location of India, so here we have Bay of Bengal, here we have Arabian Sea, and here we have Indian Ocean, and here this part is called as Pacific. So India is a part of Indo-Pacific region. And in this Indo-Pacific region, India can play a very big role. So because of this, many European countries, they want to have good friendship with India so that they have some role to be played in this Indo-Pacific region. Because the power is shifting from west towards east, from Atlantic Ocean towards Indo-Pacific Ocean. So because of this, in this context, India can play an important role. So here you have to see what are the challenges in this maritime security. And next topic it is about why are Marathas mobilizing now. So in yesterday's class we discussed about that in detail. So if you have not watched yesterday's class, so please go through that once. And one more article here is clean energy share in India and its state's electricity mix. So this article which is focusing on transition from non-renewable to renewable. So as of now, if you are talking about electricity generation in India, we are focusing on thermal power. That means we are generating electricity from coal. So we have some alternatives of developing electricity through renewable energy resources. For example, we have solar energy, we have wind energy, so we have hydel power, and even we have nuclear power. Okay, so these are some important alternatives that we have to focus on. And in this text and context, there are some articles. That is, the first one is the need to disclose political donations. So this article is talking about electoral bond scheme. So the issue here is, under this electoral bond scheme, so as an individual, as an organization, so I can buy this electoral bonds from SBI Bank and donate to any political party that I wish. So whenever I am donating this electoral bond to political party, so there will be no release of my identity. There is no release of my identity. So because of this, anonymity is maintained. Okay, so because of that, anonymity is maintained. So the issue here is, so here government said that we are introducing this electoral bond scheme to improve accountability and transparency, but it is maintaining anonymity. So this is cause of concern. Okay, and next let us move on. So next topic is RBI's latest move to increase risk weights for lending. Okay, here this article is talking about NBFCs, these non-banking financial companies. Okay, so here in our economy we have financial institutions like banks. So if you want money, you can go to bank and you can get loans by keeping collateral. But if you are not having collateral, so you can approach this NBFCs. So NBFCs, they will especially help SMEs, that is small and medium enterprises. Okay, so here whenever they are lending, so they will also go into risk. So because of this, now RBI said that we have to maintain risk weights. Okay, and this percentage has been increased to 25% now. So that's it. And if you move on to this news page, here there is one article, that is Rathod miners skill experience come in handy in rescue of workers. So this article is very important. You have to focus on what is this Rathod mining. You have to focus on what is this Rathod mining. So what are the advantages and as well as what are disadvantages? What are advantages and what are disadvantages? And you can see like how, why this Rathod mining has been banned in India. So all these things that you have to think about this topic. And if you move on, here you can see one article, that is Muslim student strength in higher education fell by 1.79 lakh in 2020 to 2021. It is according to one survey. So in higher education, the Muslim students enrollment is decreasing day by day. So here you have to see what are the reasons. So what are the measures? So what are the reasons and what are the measures that can be taken? So this is very important. And you can move on to this business page. In this business page also I found nothing much important. So these are very important articles from your examination point of view that appeared in our today's Hindu newspaper. So now let us see the notes part. So if you want to get the notes of this class, you can join the Telegram channel. So link is given in description box. Or else you can open Telegram and you can type Rathod's IS classes and there you can join our channel so that you will be getting notes. So first topic, it is about success of rescue operations in this tunnel collapse. So here context says that 41 workers, they walking out from a collapsed Silk Yara tunnel in Uttarkasi after 17 days of dark under construction. So it has been 17 days you are staying inside this tunnel. Okay, so finally they came out. So it is because of Rathod mining. So if you see the background here, so why this tunnel has been constructed? So it is like 4,531 kilometers two-way tunnel, and it's located on Yamunotri National Highway in Uttarkashi district, and actually it is a part of Chardham project. Okay, so it is focusing on all-weather accessibility project, and the important purpose of building of this tunnel, it is to provide all-weather connectivity to place like Yamunotri. It is one of the dams of Chardham Yatra, and even they want to promote regional socio-economic development, and they want to focus on trade and tourism in the country. So for all these things, development projects is important, but whenever we are focusing on these development projects, so we have to think that whether it will be sustainable or not, whether it is going to cause disasters in futures or not. And what are the important reasons for this tunnel breakdown or falling down of tunnel? Because of loose piece of rock. So site may have consisting of broken or brittle rock. So because of this, what happens is whenever the joints of these rocks are weak, that will lead to collapse. And next one is whenever there is any water infiltration through open space, so water erodes and loose rock particles over time, which is creating a gap on the top of the tunnel, and that gap cannot be seen, and suddenly the collapse will happen. So these two are the possible reason for this tunnel collapse. And what are the tunneling methods? So we have mainly two methods of tunneling. So first one is blast method tunnel, and next one is tunnel boring machines. So blast means nothing but we are drilling holes in the rock and loading with some explosives, and this explosive will be blast. And next one here is, so we are carrying a rock from the front and supporting the tunnel dug behind the machine, placing precast concrete. So we are just drilling by using the drilling machines. Okay, so that is the second type of making of tunnels. And if you're talking about construction of these tunnels in this Himalayan region, so if you're talking about construction of these tunnels in this Himalayan region, so Himalayas, they are young folded mountains. So Himalayas, they are young folded mountains, and when they were formed around 40 to 50 million years ago. And actually now even though today also they are increasing their size because of movement of these plates, okay, Indo-Australian plate and as well as Eurasian plate. Sometimes because of this young folded mountains and they are sedimentary in nature, they are too fragile. Okay, they are too fragile in nature. So tunnels do not destroy the ecology of the mountain or hill, but this tunnel technology is about 200 years old. So whenever we are doing right, it will be not causing any damage or dangerous. But if you are not following the scientific methods, it will be dangerous. And next topic is Kerala Governor signs a bill, reserves seen for presidential assent. So this article is very important from your GS paper 2 under polity. Okay, so now let us see this topic. So what is the context after hiatus of last 2 years? So it has been delayed from last 2 years, and a bitter political and legal wrangling which happened between Raj Bhavan and as well as Kerala government. And finally here governor, he passed one bill, and other bills they had been reserved by the governor for the president assent now. So if you see details, it says that so finally governor, he gave assent only for one bill. So after Supreme Court asked governor office to factor in its latest judgment, holding governors responsible for acting within the four corners of the state legislature, and they are not having any veto power over the bills presented them for assent. So actually they are facing that one issue, especially governments in this non-BJP ruling states, like so withholding of power, withholding of bills, and they are using the power of governor to withhold the essential bills which are of urgent public importance. So here if you are talking about some constitution provisions, we have Article 200. So Article 200 of our Indian Constitution, which says about the process of a bill which passed by legislative assembly of a state. It mainly talks about the process of the bill that should be followed by the state legislature, and if the bill which is passed by the state legislature and if they are present before governor for assent, then at that time governor have some powers, like he can give assent. That means he can simply sign on that bill, or he can withhold assent, or he can reserve the bill for the consideration by the president. And the governor, he can also have a power, like he may also return the bill with a message of requesting reconsideration by the house or houses. And if you see another article, that is Article 201 of Indian Constitution, it states that when a bill is reserved for consideration of president may assent or withhold assent from the bill. And the president may also direct the governor to return the bill to house or houses of legislature of state for reconsideration. Again, president has the power to send back the bill to house for reconsideration. And next one here is, what are the options available with governor? So first one is he may give assent, or he can send back bill to assembly for reconsideration. And next one is he may reserve the bill for consideration of the president. Okay, and next one here is, if he can also act against the provision of constitution. So when he is acting against the provision of constitution, like how when can a governor can reserve the bill here is, first, whenever there are any provision which are acting against constitution, like if it is opposing DPSP, that is Directive Principles of State Policy, and if that bill which is against larger public interest, and if there is any threat to the national security and territorial integrity, and if there are any deals of compulsory acquisition of property under Article 31A of Indian Constitution, those bills, they can be reserved by the governor for the president. And next topic is maritime security. So what are the challenges that we can see in this maritime security? So this topic is important from your GS paper 2 from international relations, and this is at most important topic. Clear? So if you see here, what is the interest of India in this maritime security? So first, if you understand India's interests, then we can understand easily what are the challenges that we are facing in this maritime sector. So India's maritime territory is home to more than 1200 islands, because we have Andaman and Nicobar, we have Lakshadweep Islands. So here we are having around 1200 islands, and we are having a very lengthy coastline of 7,517 kilometers of coastline, and we are also having a very large exclusive economic zone. Right, so because of this, India is having a lot of interest in this maritime security. And second important reason is SLOCs, that is sea lines of communication. So international shipping lanes are present in this Indian Ocean region, and they are very much significant for India's maritime security calculations, because India as a part of Indo-Pacific region, so it have to focus on maintaining of security in this trade which is going on through this region. And next one is, we can also focus on maritime economy. So here, for example, if you're talking about fish production, so India ranks second in the world. So the Indian Ocean have a vast deposit of polymetallic nodules, which is a valuable source of many minerals. Yes, even we got permission to exploit this polymetallic nodules to be present in international waters. But what are the technologies that we are having? It is not much efficient. And next one is maritime transportation. Over 70% of value, nearly 95% of volume of India's international trade is transported by sea. Okay, so we are having a lot of waterway transport of trade. So we have to ensure safety and security in this region. And next one is, we are also focusing on maritime investments, because India's financial involvement in nearby countries like Sri Lanka and Maldives, so India is investing a lot. And at that moment, India operates Maitri and Bharati research stations in Antarctica. So from this point of view also, ensuring of maritime security is very important. And next one is Indian diaspora. So with many nations in Indian Ocean region, so India has exchanged goods and maintained cultural ties. So we are also having a key component of maritime security framework, and it is the safety and security of Indian diaspora which is living there. And even we can focus on energy security, because India is depending upon the crude oil. So we are importing the crude oil from other countries. So if there is no proper maritime security, then how can we ensure proper trade of oil? So we can't ensure, right? Okay, so imports of energy are extremely important to Indian economy. So without importing of crude oil, we can't run our economy. For example, we are focusing on oil and gas production. So it is around 80% of all domestic gas production, and these imports, they are transported by sea. So for this, maritime security is very, very important. And what are the major challenges for maritime security? So first and the foremost thing here is we have to control choke points. So please tell me, what is this choke points? So please tell me, what is this choke points in the comment box. Okay, so if you don't know, then I will be telling about this choke points in tomorrow's class. Okay, so here, if you're talking about the challenge, so one important challenge that we are having is controlling of these choke points. So controlling of these choke points, it is one of the important challenge that is present before India. So one of the important choke point here is Strait of Malacca. Okay, so India plays a significant role in security in the vast maritime space because yes, we have some choke point in Indo-Pacific region, that is Strait of Malacca. So protection of India's maritime interests, they depend upon these because the risk to Indian energy imports through these Straits of Hormuz and as well as Straits of Malacca, etc. So even India faced a lot of issues during this 1980s because of Iran-Iraq war. So they had impact on the Strait of Hormuz. It is one of the important choke point. So to this point itself, so India is getting the crude oil transport. So here, if you are talking about the threats to this sea line of communication, yes, there are some conventional and as well as non-conventional dangers are seen. And especially in this Indian Ocean region, so these straits, they are vulnerable to disruption. And there is also regional uncertainty is seen. For example, uncertainty in Somalia, uncertainty in Yemen and Iran, and even other countries, they makes maritime security in Indian Ocean region more difficult. And if you are talking about even international community is concerned about this Somalia because of issue called as piracy. And if you are talking about trafficking, so here especially world's most notorious centers of drug production, they are located in this Indian Ocean, unfortunately. So here, for example, we have Golden Triangle and Golden Crescent. So because of this, we can see there will be activities of drug trafficking, human trafficking, armed trafficking is seen in this region. And next one is maritime terrorism is also one important issue, right? So it is quite possible that because of extensive use of this maritime sector here, so there will also leads to this maritime terrorism as well. So even these sea routes, they had been used by terrorists to make Mumbai Taj attacks. And even extra-regional military presence. For India's maritime security, growing Chinese Navy and its acquisition of a base in Djibouti, 24 access facilities in Malaysia and covert bases in Gwadar and recently announced maritime Silk Route is very concerning. So especially this maritime sector, there is aggressive expansion of this China is happening. So it is also one important issue. And next one is illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing is happening. So because of this exploitation of resources is seen in this maritime sector. So all these are some of the challenges that we are facing in this maritime security. I hope it is clear. So I covered almost all dimensions in this maritime security. And next topic, it is about time for action. So we are focusing on this COP28. Okay, so here we have to see this COP28 that is nothing but Conference of Parties 28, which is going to take place in Dubai in UAE from November 30th to December 12th. And what is this COP? COP stands for Conference of Parties, and it is one of the apex decision making body of United Nations Climate Change Framework Convention, UNFCCC. So this happens every year. Every year we will be having this meet. But what happened because of this COVID-19? So we had delayed at this COP27. Okay, and as well as COP26. That's it. And if you move on, so why this COP is important? So why this conference of parties is important? So first and the foremost thing here is the conference. It is an important platform for nations, and all these nations, they will come together and they will discuss about the challenges, and finally they will come up with the proper consensus regarding how to protect the world. So they will be having the consensus like how to protect the world. And next one is the important aim of this conference. It is to compel world leaders to take actionable measures. So they will take some measures to prevent global rise of temperature above 1.5 degrees centigrade. So here we can talk about Paris Climate Deal of 2015. They are talking to limit global warming by 1.5 degrees centigrade to 2 degrees centigrade. And what are the discussions that are going to happen in this COP28? So first one is they will be talking about loss and damage finance or loss and damage fund. Okay, so this fund will be helpful for developing countries and as well as least developed countries to come up with some technologies to prevent the climate change impacts or to reduce this climate change events. So they will work towards global goal of finance. Like they will be talking about climate finance. So they will be talking about this climate finance, and that fund will be helpful for this developing countries in addressing climate change. And there is also accelerating shift to cleaner energy sources, and they will also focusing on ensuring fairness in transition process, and they will be also focusing on reducing huge differences between what are the current emissions, okay, and how we can decrease the emissions in the future, and how much percentage of emissions that can be released in the future. And even we are going to talk about global stock take in this COP28. So all these things are very important discussions that we are going to have. And next topic, it is about electoral bond scheme. So now let us see the issue. So here Supreme Court is hearing the petitions regarding this electoral bond scheme, and there are many challenges regarding this electoral bond scheme, and they are filed as a petitions to this Supreme Court. And it is good time to discuss how important the outcome of this challenge will be to democracy and rule of law in India. So here, if there is any anonymity which is present in this scheme, that will be mainly affecting the people, right? So people will be not understanding, okay, like how many people who donated and how much money they got, like who donated how much. So like that, the people will be not getting the data. Only the party in power, if it wants, it can get the data. So political party in any country play an indispensable role in democratic process, because these political parties, they will contest in elections and they will win in elections, and they form the government, and after forming the government they will start making laws and implementing of laws. So because of this is very essential for the political parties, they are adequately funded in manner which they enjoy the public confidence. So for this, to introduce this electoral bond scheme, our government, it came up with Amendment to Representation of People's Act of 1951 and even other laws. They provide electoral bonds to provide complete anonymity to political donors. So if you see the details, actually way back in 1910, United States of America enacted Public Funding Act. So it talked about public funding, that is funding to political parties and as well as candidates, and also imposed limits on political contribution. So when this type of political funding came up in US in year 1910, even we didn't have any independence at that time. So there is also limits on donations are imposed, because unchecked large donations to these political parties and their allies will have effect of bringing democracy to disrupt. Okay, so if there is any political party which is getting more funds from so and so person, means so that person will be having influence on the government. So to reduce the influence on the government, so there is a limit of political funding. And the outcome of the elections, that should not depend upon which party has more money to campaign or to buy voters. So electoral justice, which ensures that every action, every procedure, decision which is related to this electoral process in line, that too according to the law, and we have to enjoy electoral rights. So electoral rights of the people, they have to be protected. So this thing which mainly said. And next topic, it is about risk weights for lending. So this article is also very important. So now let us see the context. RBI directed banks and non-banking financial companies to reserve more capital for risk weights. For example, if I am lending like loan to so and so SME, for example, I am lending 10 lakh rupees. So I have to maintain some weights. So if this company is not able to pay that 10 lakh rupees, at least I need to have a collateral, or I need to have a weight to sustain the loss. So the mandatory risk weight required, that has been increased by 25 percentage points by this RBI now. This RBI directed banks and non-banking financial companies to reserve more capital for risk weights, and the mandatory risk weight requirement has been increased by 25 percentage points. So these risk weights are essential tools for the bank to maintain or to manage the risk. And for this NBFCs, they will face double whammy because higher risk weights on their unsecured loans on an account of bank lending mandates to NBFCs. So they have to maintain this much amount, that is at least 25% of risk weights. Okay, so in this way they can ensure the health of the banking sector. Okay, so these are the important topics that appear now today's Hindu newspaper. And from December 4th onwards, we are going to start this prelims booster course. So in this prelims booster course, so the schedule is designed like, so you will be having revision of each and every subject of your prelims at least thrice, and we are going to give you daily targets. So based on that daily targets, you will be having test and you will be having live classes. Okay, for those prelims booster course will be taken by 4 faculty members and who are experts, and I will be taking geography there. And one more thing here is, you will be also having prelims test series that will be started from March. That will be like full length, and daily we will be having the practice, and we will be giving you the schedule. Okay, so if you want to join this prelims booster course, so please contact me on this number 8074765513, and even this is WhatsApp number, so you can contact me on WhatsApp also. And one more thing here is, so this course is absolutely very much beneficial. So you will be having the classes and your doubts will be resolved by the faculty members, and you will be having daily tests and you will be having daily targets. Okay, so based on this, it will very much helpful to clear your prelims. Okay, so that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. If you really like this class, hit the like button and share this class to your friends. And please do subscribe to Rathod's IAS Academy. And thank you for watching.